Senator Steve Daines now with us. Hey, you're standing with President Trump here. Getting a lot of reaction to 32,000 likes on that tweet you sent out.
Well, glad to see it. Aaron, the president is exactly right to point out the hypocrisy coming from the crazy left who routinely spew this anti-American rhetoric. It's pro-terrorist rhetoric, it's pro-communist rhetoric, it's anti-Semitic, it's anti-American. I stand with President Trump, his fight for our country, for our values, for our freedom.
I mean, Ilhan Omar, the Muslim congresswoman from Minnesota, she was from Somalia originally, and tweets recently resurfaced where she was trashing the very American service members who helped save her and her family and her fellow countrymen. And so it's like, yeah, if you don't like this country, if you just want to bash America, then get the heck out, or like he said, go fix that country and then come back and tell us how you did it.
Well, Montanans are tired of listening to this anti-American, anti-Semite, radical rhetoric. Just Saturday, Aaron, in Aurora, Colorado, radical activists raised a Mexican flag. They took the American flag down and replaced it with a Mexican flag. In fact, they took a Blue Lives Matter flag, an American flag, the blue line through it. They took it down, and they spray painted "Abolish ICE" on it. And then, of course, we saw what happened in Washington this weekend when an Antifa terrorist took on ICE agents, and there was a shootout. This has to be confronted. This is about freedom. It's about law and order. I'm grateful the president is taking on these radicals in the House because something had to be said, and I'm grateful for President Trump's leadership.
Well, and in this press conference yesterday, I think Representative Ilhan Omar refused to respond to a question from a reporter about her laughing off Al Qaeda, and they refused to also condemn some of the actions of these Antifa activists and others. But what I also found interesting is, we've heard this for decades, particularly during the George W. Bush administration, where there was the typical bash America first crowd as well. There were actually Hollywood celebrities who said, we're going to move if Donald Trump is elected president. So people said, okay, you don't like this country, then move, get out. And it wasn't racist then, but now they're throwing out the race card now.
Well, I tell you, it's absurd. It's absurd they would call President Trump a racist for what he said. This is the far-left media. They're calling him a racist. Look at all what he has done, this president has done, to confront racism, to help Hispanics, African Americans, women, Asians, all-time low unemployment rates, 46-year low for Hispanics, 47-year low for African Americans, 66-year all-time low unemployment rate for women. This is a president that's done so much for Israel. And I'm concerned, Aaron, you look at this anti-Semitism attitudes that are out there amongst this radical element of the Democrats in the House. My concern, Aaron, is that what used to be a fringe radical movement has now become the center of gravity for the Democrats. This has to be confronted to clearly show the American people the battle in 2020 is between socialism and freedom. And I'm grateful to stand with this president who's not afraid to confront these ideas, these horrible things that are being said, when you don't even see AOC confronting and condemning Antifa, when there was a domestic terror attack this weekend in a Washington ICE facility, when they raised a Mexican flag in place of an American flag, when they took down a Blue Lives Matter flag and spray painted it with "Abolish ICE," you cannot remain silent.
Well, and they continue to trash the great men and women that protect our borders and the Border Patrol. I mean, they're deliberately attacking with falsehoods our own Border Patrol agents.
Yeah, where was the left when these demonstrators, these radicals, raised a Mexican flag in Colorado? Where was the left when they took down a Blue Lives Matter flag and spray painted with "Abolish ICE"? Where was the media when a radical Antifa terrorist had a domestic terror incident here in the state of Washington going after an ICE facility? These are blatant acts of terror. The anti-Semitism, the rhetoric coming out of the radical left has to be confronted, and I'm grateful the president was not afraid to do so.
All right. Senator Steve Daines, thanks for calling in this morning. I know it was last-minute notice. I know you got a busy schedule. Appreciate chatting with you this morning.
Thanks, Aaron.
All right. Yeah, great to chat with Senator Steve Daines there. Yeah, his tweet, Montanans are sick and tired of listening to anti-American, anti-Semite, radical Democrats trash our country and our ideals. This is America. We're the greatest country in the world. I stand with President Trump. Great to hear from Senator Steve Daines.